Hello everyone, ARG back for some more Franchise Hockey Manager 8. And today we are going to be playing our first full month without Wayne Gretzky. For those of you who skipped the video or didn't tune in last time out, I did train Wayne Gretzky for a few different players. I needed to round up my lineup a little bit. I sure hope that we can continue on playing better, because we did. So we traded Gretzky and we started to play a little bit better. So we are back to respectability. We are one game above 500 and we are 7th in the conference. We still have some injuries. Gary Galley still out for a while. Joe Rickey and Luke Robitaille are day to day. So so Joe Rickey is not going to be able to play. Robitaille is going to come back soon and replace one of those All-Star players that I have on in my lineup. All right. Excuse me. All right, so not a whole lot more to say. The trade deadline is behind us. I can't make any more trades or anything like that. So the team that we have right now is the team that we are going to hopefully go to the playoffs with and hopefully finally win the cup. That would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Alright, so let's get a going here now, shall we? Oh. Who's healthy? Oh, Ken Garnender. Alright, I will continue to play Ken Garnender over other All-Star players. So Addix X goes down. Hey, Garnender has 5 points in 15 games. You know what? For a half-star player, that's not half bad. Alright, so let's continue for real this time. I'm gonna wait for Robitaille to be completely recovered. I could use him, but I don't need for him to get hurt any further. My throat. Somebody needs to give me a throat transplant. That's how that works, right? I could be a cyborg. I could have like a robot throat or something. Owen Nolan extends his goal streak to 5 games. He had 2 goals against the Habs. Oh, that's a new iteration of the bug right there. Look at that. Alright, so I'm going to need... we're going to go through this stream like that. I'm going to need to make a mental note that I need to fix that. I haven't had that bug in a while. Now, usually... So the bug I'm talking about, if you look at the picture here, like the picture is kind of cut off. Oh, mine there too. I guess I just don't look at myself all that much. I'm not that vain. But usually you only get like the shoulder and the arm. But that's the first time I've seen it like that. So there's a way to fix that, but I have to kind of exit out of the game and everything. So I'm not gonna do that right now. So we're gonna learn to live with it. By the way, Owen Nolan scored 2 goals against the Habs. Alright, so Bruce McNall still satisfied with my work as the GM of the Kings. Luke Robitaille is almost recovered. I wonder why it did that. So the issue with the pictures, that's been in the game versions for at least the last 3 versions, and the devs are not able to pinpoint where it's coming from. They pinpointed a fix, and it's an easy enough fix, but they haven't been able to figure out how to completely eradicate that little bug. But anyway, so the Calgary Flames are in town. Now, the Flames are really good. Not only are they the defending cup champions, they are also first in the conference by a wide margin. They are 44-18-2. We are 2-3 against them this season, and win here would be pretty swell. All right. So Mike Vernon is going to be in net for... Oh, it's messing up in the cards too. That's interesting. Right, so Mike Vernon is going to be in net for the Flames. Artus Airby is going to be in net for us. Go Kings! Let's start the month on a strong note here. Let's make this a statement game. Well, we lost 6-3, so I guess it is a statement, just not the statement that I wanted. Yeah, so a 6-3 loss at home to start the month. We were outshot 41-32 in that one. Jamie McCown was the first star of the game. He had 2 assists. Joe Nieuwendyk was the second star with 2 assists as well. And Rob Ramage was the third star with a goal and an assist. Sellout crowd here in Inglewood for this game. Flames opened up the scoring in the first. Then Alexander McGillney scored from Andrew Castles and Randy Wood. It was tied at 1 after 1. Then there were a slew of penalties in the first period. And there was also a fight between Randy Ladouceur and Rob Ramage. Then in the second period, Alexander McGillney scored again from Randy Wood and Andrew Castles. And then Dave Reed from Alexander McGillney and Jeff Smith. We were up 3-1 at that point. However, the Flames would score 3 goals in 2 minutes and 34 seconds before the end of the period. And we were down 4-3 after 2. Then in the third period, the Flames scored twice, including an empty netter, and we lost 6-3. Not a great game to start. We couldn't hold on to the lead. We had a nice 3-1 lead, and we couldn't hold on to it. Right, John Blue has been put on waivers by the Flyers. He is a 1.5-star goaltender, so who knows, maybe he's gonna get claimed. Akan Lube scored his 300th goal of his career against us. So Akan Lube is 32 years old and he's a 2-star player. Al McInnes extends his goal streak to 5 games against us. He had a goal. Mario Lemieux has a memorable game. He had 3 goals and 2 assists against the Flyers. That was 21 straight games with a point for him, so Mario's got going. I talked a little bit in the past few streams/videos that Lemieux was not necessarily being as dominant as maybe he should. Looks like he's on fire now. Mark Rickey extends his point streak to 16 games. In that same game, he got 2 assists. Strong night for Dale Auerchuk. He had a hat-trick against the Nordiques. Alright. Luke Robitaille says that he's ready to play, and I say I'm ready to get you in the lineup, buddy. And then Cam Neely extended with the Bruins. That's a 3-year extension. Alright, so let's bring our friend Luke Robitaille back in the lineup now, shall we? We're gonna send down back Magnus Arvidsson. He's still not fully ready to play in the NHL. Alright, now let's see now. Oh, wait. Let me check something. Oh, good thing I came here and check. So one thing I forgot to do after my trade is extend Dave Reed. So I'm going to go ahead and renew his contract. Yep, we're getting him for 3 more years. That's fine. I'm good with that. Alright, so we have a day off, and then we're going to be hosting the Sens. Oh, the Sens have officially beat what they did in real life in their first season. Good job. Alright, Marc Bureau is suspended with the Waiters. He's going to miss 7 games. Kirk Muller extends his goal streak to 5 games. He had a goal and an assist in that same game against the Waiters. And still in that same game, Sylvain Turgeon extended his point streak to 12 games with a goal. Chico Resch is under fire in Tampa Bay again. You know, expansion team and everything, and they're talking about firing the coach. Not, you know, not even after a full season. Link Gates is back in the lineup in Minnesota after serving his suspension. And Dave Reed signed his contract extension. Thank you very much. And we are hosting the Suns. The Suns are 11-53-3. We are 1-0 against the Suns. We beat them 5-4 in Ottawa. Let's see if we can beat them. Of course, getting Luc Robitaille is definitely going to help here. So David Delfino is going to be in net for the Suns. Arthur Serbe, the valorous warrior, is going to be in net for us. Go Kings! Oh, another tight one against the Suns, but we did win a 3-2 victory. We were outshot 43-24. Yikes! Gerald Deduck was the first of the game. He had an assist. Jody Gage was the second star with a goal and an assist, and Arthur Serbe was actually the third star with 41 saves and the W. Alright, so we attracted the max amount of people in the arena for this game. Randy Wood opened up the scoring in the first. That was a short-handed goal from Gerald Deduck. Then Rob Blake scored on the power play from Andrew Castles. And then Randy Ladouceur from Alexei Gusarov and Mike Ridley. We were up 3-0 after one. Then the Suns scored in the second period, made it 3-1. Then they scored again in the third period, made it 3-2, but we held on this time. They didn't relinquish the lead, and this is a 3-2 victory. Maybe a little bit tighter than I would wish against an expansion team, but hey, we'll take the W anyway. Rick Vive is back from suspension in Chicago, back in the lineup, and then Randy Carlyle in Winnipeg is suspended. He's gonna miss 3 games. Right, we have a day off, and then we're going to be hosting the Edmonton Oilers, and then we're going to be heading on the road a little bit. Craig Berube has been put on waivers. Now that's funny because he's been extended as a coach today in real life. So, right, so Sylvain Turgeon's point streak ended at 12 games. He didn't get a point against the Buffalo Sabres. Kirk Muller extended his goal streak to 6 games with a goal against Chicago. Teemu Selanne in that same game extended his point streak to 12 games. He had 3 assists. Mario Lemieux extended his point streak to 22 games with 2 assists against the Rangers. And in that same game, Mark Recchi extended his point streak to 17 games with a goal and an assist. And it was 8 straight games with an assist for Recchi. Joe Recchi is starting to feel better. Oh, François Gravel got himself some new pads. Alright. And he hopes that it's going to help him control his rebounds better. Well, we all hope it's true. Oilers are in town with a 35-27-4 record. That's good for 4th in the conference. We are 3-2 against the Oilers. I'd like another W against those Oilers that we face every year in the playoffs, it seems. Bill Ranford is going to be in net for Edmonton. Arthur Serbe is going to be in net for us. Go Kings! Another 3-2 victory. I will take it. Alright, so we beat the Oilers again. Nice little 3-2 victory at home. We were outshot again. That I don't like. I improved my D to try to avoid those situations. We were outshot 42-33 this time. Andrew Castles was the first star of the game. He had a goal. Glenn Anderson was the second star with an assist. And Arthur Serbe, yet again, the third star with 40 saves and a W. So here we can say thanks to Irbe in those last 2 wins. We fill out the arena yet again. Alright, so Oilers took a 2-0 lead into the first period, then Alexander McGillney scored. It was 2-1 in Edmonton at that point. Then in the second period, we tied the game. Randy Wood scored his 10th goal of the season from Gary Volk and Jeff Smith. Then in the third period, Andrew Castle scored from Luke Robitaille and Rob Blake, and it was a 3-2 victory. Oh yeah, and we held on and everything. Jim Vesey has a strong game. He had 3 goals and an assist against Vancouver. Pretty good game indeed. Rob Ramage played in his 1000th game in his career. Celebrated that with an assist. That was against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Rob Ramage is 34 years old and he is still a 2.5-star defenseman. And Joe Rickey feeling better. I'm okay with that. Alright, we have a couple of days off and then we're going to be hitting the road here. Alright, Rich Chermanaz has been put on waivers. I can claim him, but I will not. Alright, suspension for Andrew McBain in Winnipeg. He's gonna miss 4 games. I have a cat that absolutely wants in here. Let me fix that. I'll be right back. Gonna be a pest if I let you in. You gonna be a pest or are you just gonna say, oh, I know what you want. You want for me to make your little bed, huh? Here you go, girl. Alright, I am back. Sorry about that. So that cat really likes to sleep on my robe for some reason. So there you have it. Hey, Jim DeVillano to be fired again. Expansion team. They're thinking about changing the GM already. Oh dear God. Kirk Muller extends his goal streak to 7 games. He had a goal and an assist against the Flyers. Teemu Selanne extends his point streak to 13 games with 2 assists in that same game. Ooh, that sucks for the Sharks. Peter Forsberg is hurt. He's gonna miss 5 months. Fractured larynx. So see you next season, Peter Forsberg. He's only 19. He's not fully developed yet. He still has 47 points in 67 games. That's not too shabby. He's not playing on a good team. He doesn't have a lot of good teammates to pass the puck to or receive the puck from. Right, we have another day off here. Red light stays on for Ray Ferraro in Hartford. He had a hat trick against the Nordiques. And Joe Rickey is completely recovered. That's good news. But now Gerald Deduck apparently is hurt. I don't know what the hell he did. Dislocated. How did you dislocate your jaw? We didn't even play a game. What the hell happened? Oh, you can play with a dislocated jaw. Okay. Probably gonna hurt a little when you get a hit. Alright, so we are at Madison Square Garden to play against the Rangers. Rangers have a losing record. They are 26-29-11. We are 0-1 against the Rangers this season. It was a 6-5 loss at home. Let's beat them this time. Come on, folks. I want to win. Artus Airbase is going to be a net for us. John Van Beesbrook is going to be a net for... My players are okay. John Van Beesbrook in net for the Rangers. Go Kings! Ho! A 7-0 road win for the Kings. Oh yeah. This time we outshot the Rangers 45-28. Artus Airbase is the first star of the game with 28 saves. Rob Blake is the second star with 3 assists. And Robert Reichel is the third star with 2 goals and an assist. Right, so Reichel opened up the scoring in the first. That was his 30th of the season from Joe Rickey and Randy Ladouceur. Then Mike Ridley scored his 20th from Rob Blake and Jeff Smith. And then Alexander McGillney from Rob Blake and Dave Reed. 3-0 Kings after 1. Then in the second period, Luc Robitaille scored on the power play from Rob Blake and Ray Shepherd. 4-0 Kings after 2. Then 3 more goals in the third period. Andrew Castle scored on the power play from Alexander McGillney and Luc Robitaille. Then Dave Reed scored on the power play from Robert Reichel and Rob Brown. And then Robert Reichel scored on the power play from Mike Ridley and Dave Reed. 7-0 the final score. And no penalty. No fights. There were penalties, no fights. Mario Lemieux extends his point streak to 23 games with a goal and an assist against Boston. Mark Recchi extends his point streak to 18 games. In that same game, he had a goal. His assist streak ended at 8 games, though, because a goal is all he got. Brian Marchment is suspended in Winnipeg. He's going to miss 4 games. Patrick Sundstrom has produced 600 points in his career. He had 2 assists. So Patrick Sundstrom plays for Tampa Bay. That happened against Winnipeg. He is 31 years old and still a 2-star player. Randy Carlyle is back from suspension in Winnipeg. Kirk Muller extends his goal streak to 8 games with a goal and 2 assists against Vancouver. And in that same game, Selani extended his point streak to 14 games. He had 2 goals and an assist. And Modano's suspension ended in Vancouver, back in the lineup over there. Alright, we have a day off, and then we're going to be in Pittsburgh. Mikko Makela has been suspended with the Islanders. He's going to miss 7 games. And we are in Pittsburgh to play against the Pens. It's not a Wayne against Mario game anymore. Pittsburgh is really good. They are 45-15-7. I believe that's the best team in the league. We are 0-1 against them. We did lose 6-4 at home against them. Arthur Searby is going to be in net for us yet again. Why not? He had a shutout in his last game. Doug Dadswell is going to be in net for Pittsburgh. Go Kings! Oh, we won 9-4. Hell yeah. Alright, so we outshot Pittsburgh 45-34. Ray Shepherd was the first star of the game. He had 3 goals and an assist. Andrew Castles was the second star with a goal and 3 assists. And Luc Robitaille was the third star with a goal and 2 assists. Let's see here. We scored twice in the first period. Todd Gill scored from Rob Blake and Robert Reichel. Then Andrew Castles from Scott Arneal and Alexander McGillney. Then Pittsburgh scored, but we scored shortly after. Dave Reed from Alexander McGillney and Randy Ladouceur. It was 3-1 Kings after 1. Then in the second period, Pittsburgh made it 3-2, and then we scored 2 goals. Ray Shepherd scored his 25th on the power play from Andrew Castles and Luc Robitaille, and then Luc Robitaille on the power play from Andrew Castles and Ray Shepherd. 5-2 Kings after 2. There was some fighting going on. Let's see. Kevin Stevens and Joe Rickey, then Don Biggs and Rob Blake. Then in the third period, Ray Shepherd scored from Luc Robitaille and Alexei Gusarov, then Gusarov from Robert Cron and Scott Arneal. It was 7-2. Then Pittsburgh scored, and we scored 2 more goals. Alexander McGillney scored his 40th of the season from Andrew Castles and Todd Gill. Then Ray Shepherd from Rob Blake and Robert Reichel made it 9-3. And then finally Pittsburgh scored, made it 9-4. But yeah, that was a 5-goal lead, a pretty comfortable 5-goal lead. Then there was a fight between Randy Cunningworth and Rob Blake. Again, Rob Blake got into 2 fights in this game. Alright, nice 9-4 victory. Alright, Mario Lemieux extends his point streak to 24 games. He had an assist against us, in case you didn't figure it out. Mark Rickey extends his point streak to 19 games. He had a goal and an assist against us. Good night for Ray Shepherd, 3 goals and an assist, as we saw. David Williams is suspended in Boston. He's going to miss 3 games. And Perez Svoboda is also suspended in Montreal. He's going to miss 1 game. All right, we have 3 days off, and then we're going to be playing in Buffalo. John McLean extends his goal streak to 5 games. He had 2 goals against Edmonton. Kirk Muller extends his goal streak to 9 games with 2 goals in that same game. Teemu Selanne extended his point streak to 15 games. He had 2 assists yet again in that same game. Bob Sweeney is back from suspension in Tampa Bay, back in the lineup. And a 2-year contract extension for Joe Nieuwendyk with the Flames. Right? Joe Nieuwendyk has a great game. He had 3 goals and an assist against the Devils, so celebrating the contract extension right away, didn't waste any time. Teemu Selanne extended his point streak to 16 games with 2 goals in that same game. Dallas Drake is out with an eye ankle sprain in Hartford. He's going to be out for 3 weeks. And Perez Svoboda's suspension ended. He is back in the lineup in Montreal. 1 more day off. Strong night for Akan Lube with Calgary. He had 4 goals and an assist against Vancouver. Pretty good game indeed. My cat scared me. Red light stays on for Steve Larmer in Chicago. He had a hat-trick, 3 goals against the Oilers. Memorable game for Mario Lemieux, 4 assists against the Islanders. That was 25 games with a point for him. And Mark Rickey extended his point streak to 20 games with a goal in that same game. Alright, so we are in Buffalo to play against the Sabres, and then we're flying all the way back home to play tomorrow. That sounds a little wrong, but okay. Maybe it's an afternoon game. Maybe this is an afternoon game, then we're going back home, and then we're going to go ahead and play the next evening, maybe. Maybe the league was kind enough to do that. Not for the Sens, they don't do that for Ottawa, but for LA, that's a big market. Yeah, I can see them do that. Alright, so Buffalo, really good season as well. 42-19-7, the record over there. Getting Sergei Fedorov probably helped. We are 0-1 against Buffalo this season. It was a 5-1 loss at home. Let's see if we can avenge that and beat them on their turf, or on their ice rather. Artur Serbe still in net for us. Olaf Kozig in net for Buffalo. Go Kings! Well, you know what? We tied, and that was a good team on the road. I'll take the tie. That's okay. So a 2-2 tie today against a really good team. And we were outshot too, so you know what? A tie is totally acceptable right now. I have no shame in my team. So if we were outshot 45-33. Sergei Fedorov was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals. Mike Ridley was the second star with an assist, and Dave Andreychuk was the third star with an assist as well. Jeff Smith opened up the scoring in the first period from Andrew Castles and Dave Reed. And then Joe Rickey from Mike Ridley and Gerald Deduck. It was 2-0 Kings, but then Buffalo scored, and it was 2-1 Kings after 1. There was a fight between Peter Nedved and Rob Blake, and then in the third period, Buffalo tied the game. It was tied at 2. There was a fight between former King and Kings legend in real life Dave Taylor and Joe Rickey in the third period. Nobody scored in overtime, obviously, and we have a 2-2 tie on our hands. Looks like she might want to get out now. Sorry about that. You want to get out? guess I got fooled. She's kneading in the robes. I guess she's gonna lay down and sleep. Or maybe it's just wishful thinking. Oh god, this is not realistic. Nick Lidstrom just got suspended. I'm going to wipe my save and start clean. Alright, so Nick Lidstrom in Quebec got suspended. He's going to miss 2 games. And Craig Janney extended with the Bruins. A 3-year contract extension for him. Alright, we're back home and we're hosting the Jets. The Jets are 39 and 31. They don't have any ties. That's good for 4th in the conference. We are 2-3 against the Jets. The days where I was pretty much always winning my games against the Jets are behind us, I suppose. Alright. Let's beat them. Curtis Joseph is going to be in net for the Jets. François Gravel is getting a start here for the Kings. Let's see those new pads in action now, shall we? Go Kings! And we lost 4-2. New pads didn't work out. We outshot Winnipeg 35-34. Dale Hawerchuk was the first star of the game. He had 3 goals and an assist. Randy Wood was the second star with a goal. And Chris Luongo was the third star with an assist. Sellout crowd here in Inglewood. Jets open up the scoring in the first. Then Randy Wood scored short-handed from Mike Ridley and Rob Blake. Then the Jets scored again. It was 2-1 Winnipeg after 1. Then in the third period, Ray Shepherd scored on the power play from Andrew Castles and Alexander McGillney. It was tied at 2, but then the Jets scored 2 more goals, including 1 in an empty net, and we lost 4-2. That sucks. Dale Hawerchuk has a great game. I know. I was there. 3 goals and an assist against us. Andrew McBain back from suspension in Winnipeg, back in the lineup. Peter Bundra extends his goal streak to 5 games. So Bundra plays in Boston. He had 2 goals against the Devils. Kirk Muller extends his point streak to 12 games with an assist in that same game. And Selene extended his point streak to 17 games with 2 goals in that same game. And David Williams is back from suspension in Boston after serving his suspension. My cat scared me again, by the way. I'm gonna die of a heart attack here on stream. You can't make up your mind, can you? No, I'm not giving you attention to pet you. No. No, I know you want attention. No. You don't get to go there. Craig McTavish signed an extension with the Oilers. That's a 1-year extension. And now we are going to host the Islanders. The Islanders are not doing all that hot this year. They are 18, 44, and 7. And we are 1-0 against the Islanders. That was a 5-4 win in Uniondale. Let's see if we can win this. So we have 2 home games and then we're going on the road for like a long ass time. Which doesn't bother me because we play better on the road. So, take that, game. Alright, so Kelly Rudy is going to be in net for the Islanders. Arthur Searby is going to be in net for us. Go Kings as usual. Irby returns in net. The W's come flying back down on us. We won 2-1. Another tight game, but it's a win. We were outshot badly in this game, 46-28. We probably didn't deserve that one. Joe Rickey was the first star of the game. He had an assist. John Leclerc was the second star with a goal. And Arthur Searby, the third star with 45 saves. Another sellout crowd here in Inglewood. Gary Volk opened up the scoring in the first from Mike Ridley and Joe Rickey. It was 1-0 Kings. Then Alexander McGillney scored in the second period from Randy Ladouceur and Andrew Castles. Then the Islanders made it 2-1, and that would stick until the end of the game. Nobody else scored. There weren't any fights. Nothing of note. Well, that's something of note. Now for real. Alright, we are done with that. I am making it a statement that even if she whines, she is not coming back in here. Now I am tangled in my cables. Alright, Mark Messier played in his 1000th game in his career. Didn't get a point, though. That was against the Devils. Mark Messier is 32 years old. He's still a 5-star player. Memorable game for Bruce Driver. In that same game, he had 4 assists. Kind of stole the show a little. Kirk Muller extended his point streak to 13 games. He had 2 goals and an assist in that same game. Teemu Selanne extended his point streak to 18 games in that same game. 2 goals for him. Mario Lemieux extended his point streak to 26 games. He had a goal and 2 assists against Washington. Mark Recchi extended his goal streak to 5 games with 2 goals and an assist in that same game. That was 21 games with a point. Chris Chelios extends his assist streak to 8 games, 2 goals and an assist against the Nordiques. Brian Marchment is back in the lineup in Winnipeg after serving his suspension, and Gerald Deddock is completely recovered. Alright, we have a day off and then we're hosting the Blues, and then we're going to be going on the road for a while. Alright, Marc Bureau is back from a suspension in Hartford, back in the lineup over there. Alright, the Blues are in town. They have a decent 32-29 and 11 record. That's good for 6th in the conference. We are 2-0 against the Blues this season. Let's see if we can give our fans a win before we hit the road. Corey D'Alessio is going to be in net for the Blues. Arthur Serbe in net for the Kings. Go Kings, of course. Come on. Oh, we lost 7-6. We were on the wrong side of that offensive game. We were outshot 41-35 in that one. Brett Hull was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals and an assist. Luc Robitaille was the second star with 3 assists, and Rod Brennamore was the third star with a goal and an assist. Another sellout crowd for that one. Blues opened up the scoring in the first, then Ray Shepherd tied the game from Robert Reichel and Luc Robitaille. Then the Blues scored again. Then we tied the game again. Todd Gill from Dave Reed and Mike Ridley. Then the Blues scored yet again, and they were up 3-2 after one. Then in the second period, they made it 4-2. Then Rob Blake scored his 15th from Robert Reichel and Luc Robitaille. It was 4-3, but the Blues scored 2 more goals, and they were up 6-3 after 2. Then in the third period, Scott Arneal scored from Robert Reichel. Then the Blues scored, made it 7-4. Then we scored 2 goals. Alexander McGillney on the power play from Ray Shepherd and Luc Robitaille. And then Joe Rickey from Andrew Castles and Alexander McGillney. It was 7-6 with 3 minutes and 17 seconds left to go in the third period, but we just couldn't tie the game. We also had a fight between Todd Gill and Darian Hatcher. Ooh. Hatcher was a big man. I'm sure he still is, but, you know. Chris Chelios extended his assist streak to 9 games. He had an assist against the Blackhawks. Kirk Muller extended his point streak to 14 games with a goal and an assist against the Nordiques. Teemu Selanne extends his point streak to 19 games. In that same game, he had a goal and 2 assists. He's on fire. Nick Lidstrom is back from suspension in Quebec. Mario Lemieux extends his point streak to 27 games with 2 assists against the Flyers. Mark Recchi extends his goal streak to 6 games with a goal. In that same game, 22 games with a point for him as well. Kevin Stevens extends his point streak to 12 games. Yet again, in that same game, he had an assist. And a good game for Pat LaFontaine, who had a hat-trick against the Canucks. Alright, and we have 3 days off, and speaking of the Canucks, we are about to play them. That's a lot of news. Alright, strong game for Jari Kurri with the Oilers. He had the hat-trick against Pittsburgh. Mario Lemieux extends his point streak to 28 games. In that same game, he had 2 goals and 2 assists. That was 8 straight games with an assist as well. In that same game, Mark Messier had 4 assists, which is also really good. Mark Recchi extended his goal streak to 7 games with a goal and an assist. That was 23 straight games with a point. Kevin Stevens made it 13 games with a point with a goal and 3 assists. Bruce Driver has been put on the injured reserve, or at least he's hurt. The computer doesn't always put injured players on the injured reserve for some reason, but Bruce Driver is out for, they don't say. It's a strained hamstring, so I wouldn't think that it's like super long term. 2 to 3 weeks. Kirk Muller extends his point streak to 15 games. In that same game, he had a goal against the Flyers. Teemu Selanne made it 20 straight games with a point. He had an assist. And Theo Fleury is suspended in Calgary. He's going to miss 5 games. Bad news for Montreal. Mike McPhee is hurt. He's going to miss 7 months with a ruptured MCL. Ooh. Yeah, that's not good. Chris Chelios' assist streak ended at 9 games. He got no points in that game against Buffalo. Craig Berube has been put on waivers yet again. No further action needed for Bob Beers with the Islanders. He will not be suspended. Kirk Muller extends his point streak to 16 games. He had a goal and 3 assists against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Memorable night for Teemu Selanne with 4 goals and 2 assists in that same game against Tampa Bay. That means that Selanne now has 21 games with at least a point. Mario Lemieux extends his point streak to 29 games. He got 2 goals and 2 assists against the Sharks. That was 9 straight games with an assist for him. Mark Recchi extended his goal streak to 8 games. He had a goal and an assist. And that's 24 straight games with a point for him. And Kevin Stevens made it 14 games with a point with 2 assists in that same game. Whew, that was a mouthful to say all that. Alright, we are in Vancouver to play against the Canucks. Canucks are 32-35 and 6. That's good for 9th in the conference. We are 2-4 against Vancouver this season, so we didn't face off against them all that awesome. So let's reverse that here with a nice win on the road. We have Artur Serbe in net. The Canucks have Frank Pietrangelo. Oh yeah, 7-1 win, and I forgot to say go Kings go, so if I would have, it probably would have at least been 19-0 or something. Alright, we outshot the Canucks 39-31. Luc Robitaille was the first star of the game. He had a goal and an assist. Randy Wood was the second star with a goal and an assist as well, and Mike Ridley was the third star with 2 assists. We scored 1 goal in the first period. Robert Reichel from Ray Shepherd and Todd Gill. It was 1-0 Kings after 1. Then in the second period, Vancouver tied game. And then we scored 3 unanswered goals after that. Rob Blake from Mike Ridley and Randy Wood, then Robert Reichel from Joel Deduck and Luke Robitaille, and then Luke Robitaille from Scott Arneal and Rob Blake. 4-1 Kings after 2. Then in the third period, Alexander Mogilny scored from Alexei Gusarov and Robert Cron. Then Mogilny again from Dave Reed and Rob Brown. And finally, Randy Wood from Gary Valk and Mike Ridley. 7-1, the final score. We also had a fight between Rich Sutter and Rob Blake. Rob Blake fights a little bit too much for my own taste. I'd rather have him on the ice. Rob Dirk is suspended in St. Louis. He's going to miss 1 game. We have a day off, and then we're in Edmonton to play against the Oilers. Oh yeah, and by the way, something that I forgot to mention before the start of that season. This is the season where teams started to play 84 games instead of 80 in a season. So far, every season we've been playing 80 games, but with the expansion from Tampa Bay and Ottawa, teams were playing 84 games once they added those 2 teams. Oh, Wayne Gretzky finally is doing something in Toronto. Feels like we don't hear about him all that much. A night to remember for Wayne Gretzky. He had 3 goals and 3 assists against Minnesota. Yeah, that's pretty good. Great night for Mario Lemieux. He had 3 goals and 2 assists. Dear God. Against New Jersey, so yeah. Mario Lemieux extended his point streak to 30 games with that performance. That was 10 straight games with an assist as well. Kirk Muller extends his point streak to 17 games with an assist in the loss. Mark Recchi extends his point streak to 25 games with an assist in that same game. Teemu Selanne extends his point streak to 22 games as well. He had an assist. Kevin Stevens extends his point streak to 15 games. He had 2 goals and 3 assists in that same game, and that was 8 straight games with an assist as well. Alright, we are in Edmonton. They are 37, 34, and 4. That's good for 5th in the conference. We are 4-2 against the Oilers this season. That's actually a team we've been playing pretty well against. Let's see if we can continue that. Arthur Searby forever in net. Grant Fuhr in net for Edmonton. Go Kings! Oh, we dropped that one. So we lost 5-1 here on the road. I guess we had a bad game in the system. We did outshoot Edmonton 32-21, so Arthur Searby was just not great in that game at all. Glenn Anderson was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals. Grant Fuhr was the second star with 31 saves, and Mark Messier was the third star with a goal and an assist. We actually opened up the scoring in the first period. Alexander Mogilny scored his 45th from Andrew Castles and Dave Reed. Then Edmonton tied the game. It was 1-1. We had a fight between Mark Messier and Joel Deduck. The Oilers scored 3 goals in the second period. We had a fight between Glenn Anderson and Joe Rickey. Then finally they added 1 more goal in the third period, and it was a 5-1 loss for us. Scott Arneal improves at center. Ooh, so fancy. Alright, we have a couple days off, and then we're going to be playing in Winnipeg. Rob Dirk is back from suspension in St. Louis already. Lots of news again. Every time the Pens play, because they have so many players that are on streaks. Mario Lemieux extends his point streak to 31 games. He had a goal against Boston. His assist streak, however, ended at 10 games because he only got a goal. Mark Recchi extends his point streak to 26 games. He had an assist in that same game. Kevin Stevens' point streak ended at 15 games. He didn't get a point against Boston, and his assist streak ended at 8 games. Suspension for Wendell Clark with Toronto. He's going to miss 1 game. Claude Lemieux extends his assist streak to 8 games in Montreal. He had a goal and 2 assists against Ottawa. John Leclerc extends his goal streak to 5 games. He had 2 goals and 2 assists against the Sharks. Mikko Makela is back from suspension in New York. A night to remember for Zygmunt Palffy playing for the Nordiques. He had 3 goals and an assist against the Flyers. Kirk Muller's point streak ended at 17 games. Didn't get a point against the Capitals. And Teemu Selanne also didn't get a point against the Capitals, and his streak ended at 22 games. Well, that's going to be 2 less things to talk about. All right, the Jets. We are in Winnipeg. Winnipeg is 43-32. Still no ties in Winnipeg. They are 3rd in the conference. We are 2-4 against them. I'd like to win. Artur Serbe is in net for us. Curtis Joseph is in net for the Jets. Go Kings! Come on. Oh, we won 5-4 in overtime. That's nice. We outshot Winnipeg 36-29 in this game. Ray Shepherd was the first star of the game. He had a goal and 2 assists. Dale Hawerchuk was the second star with 3 goals. And Andrew Castles was the third star with a goal and 2 assists. Alright, so Winnipeg opened up the scoring in the first period, and that was the only goal, so we were down 1-0 after 1. There was a fight between Brian Marchment and Rob Blake. Then in the second period, Randy Ladouceur scored his 5th of the season from Andrew Castles and Alexander McGillney. Then Andrew Castles scored on the power play from Ray Shepherd and Luc Robitaille. It was 2-1 for the Kings. Then the Jets tied the game, and then Ray Shepherd scored his 30th from Gerald Deduck and Robert Reichel. It was 3-2 Kings after 2. With another fight between Laurie Boschman and Rob Blake yet again. Stay on the ice, Rob. Stop fighting. Alright, then the Jets scored twice in the third period. They were up 4-3, but with about 5 minutes left to go in the period, Alexander McGillney scored on the power play from Ray Shepherd and Andrew Castles. It was tied at 4, and then Robert Reichel played the hero in overtime from Alexei Gusarov and Luc Robitaille, and we had a 5-4 win to celebrate. No one could stop Dale Hawerchuk against us. He had a hat-trick, 3 goals. Alexander McGillney extended his goal streak to 5 games with a goal and an assist. Wendell Clark is back from suspension in Toronto, back in the lineup. And great night for Mario Lemieux. He had a hat-trick, 3 goals. That was 5 straight games with a goal for him. And that was 32 games with a point for him. That's starting to be a pretty impressive streak here. Who is going to stop Mario Lemieux? And Mark Recchi extended his point streak to 27 games with an assist against Washington in that same game. And now we are in Detroit, so 2 games in 2 nights. We have 2 games left here in March. Detroit has a fairly similar record to ours. They are 38-33-7. That's good for 2nd in the conference. They are 1st in their division. We are 1-2 against the Wings this season. I would like to change that. François Gravel back in net. We get to try those new pads again. Tim Chevalier in net for Detroit. Go Kings. I guess I'll take it. We got a 6-6 tie here in Detroit. So again, on the road, not a bad team. We'll take the tie. We'll take the point. Also, we were outshot 41-36 in that one. So yeah, I'll take the point. Adam Graves was the first star of the game. He had 3 assists. Dave Reed was the second star with a goal, and Yaroslav Modry was the third star with an assist. Detroit opened up the scoring in the first, then Joe Rickey scored his 5th from Scott Arniel and Robert Lang. We had a 1-1 tie after 1. Then in the second period, Alexander McGillney scored from Scott Arniel and Mike Ridley. Then Dave Reed scored his 10th short-handed from Mike Ridley and Joe Rickey. Ray Shepherd scored on the power play from Alexander McGillney and Randy Wood. And then Rob Blake scored on the power play from Alexander McGillney and Luc Robitaille. 5-1 at that point for the Kings. Then the Red Wings scored, made it 5-2 after 2. Then in the third period, the Red Wings came back and tied the game. It was tied at 5. Then Rob Brown gave us the lead back from Robert Lang and Randy Ladouceur. It was 6-5. But the Red Wings tied the game with 15 seconds left to go in the third period. They probably pulled their goaltender. And nobody scored in overtime, obviously. So that was a 6-6 tie today. Alexander McGillney extends his goal streak to 6 games. He had a goal and 2 assists in that game against Detroit. So 6 straight games for McGillney with a goal. Oh yeah, she wants to come back in, but I'm not giving in. I'm showing some good willpower over here. Mario Lemieux extends his goal streak to 6 games. He had a goal and 2 assists against Ottawa. That was 33 straight games with a point for him. Mark Recchi extends his point streak to 28 games with 2 goals and an assist in that same game. And I don't care about that. Alright, so we have one more game in March. It's going to be in Toronto against a former friend, Wayne Gretzky. So Toronto is 35, 35, and 6. That's good for 8 in the conference. We are 2-1 against the Leafs. Let's beat them. And Wayne. Arthur Serby is back in net for the Kings. Ken Reggett is going to be in net for Toronto. Go Kings! Oh, we won 9-3. There you go. We outshot Toronto 49-27. Alexander McGillney was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals and 2 assists. Ray Shepherd was the second star with 2 goals and 2 assists as well. And then Robert Reichel was the third star with 2 assists. Dave Reed opened up the scoring in the first period from Ray Shepherd and Randy Wood. Then the Leafs tied the game, and then we scored 3 goals. Andrew Castle scored his 30th on the power play. That was unassisted. Then he scored again on the power play from Ray Shepherd and Rob Blake. And then Ray Shepherd from Mike Ridley. 4-1 Kings after 1. Then Toronto scored, made it 4-2. Then Alexander McGillney scored unassisted, made it 5-2. Then the Toronto Maple Leafs scored, made it 5-3. That was a score after 2. There was a fight between Wendell Clark and Rob Blake yet again. Former teammates got at it. Then in the third period, Luke Robitaille scored from Alexander McGillney and Alexei Gusarov. Then Robitaille scored his 35th from Robert Reichel and Alexander McGillney. Then Ray Shepherd from Randy Wood and Gerald Deduck. And then finally Alexander McGillney from Robert Reichel and Alexei Gusarov. 9-3 the final score. Nice way to end the month, if I can say so myself. Oh, Todd Gill is hurt. No, that's not nice. I traded for him. I need him in the lineup. 2 to 3 weeks, just like Galley. Okay. Alright, so Todd Gill has a dislocated shoulder, so he's gonna miss 2 to 3 weeks. Alexander McGillney extended his goal streak to 7 games with 2 goals and 2 assists in that game. Claude Lemieux extends his assist streak to 9 games with 2 assists against the Nordiques. Top-selling jerseys for the Kings: Luke Robitaille, Arthur Serby, Ray Shepherd, Dave Reed, and François Gravel. That's a couple weird names in there, but hey, that's fine. And in the entire NHL, no Kings jerseys. We don't have Wayne Gretzky anymore. He's not even in the top 20 himself. Dang, Wayne, you're going down fast. Right, players of the month were Mario Lemieux and Olaf Koze. I can see Lemieux being, he's on a tier. Dear God. Right, so let's see here. I'm gonna save just in case. And yes, I'm probably gonna save again here in a couple minutes after I'm done recapping what's going on. Alright, so looks like we are 4th in the conference now, so we're rising. So we had Gretzky, we were 9th, and then I was like, screw that, we need some defense. I made a trade, and now we're 4th. That's some GMing here. Yeah. All right. So yeah. However, we have 2 injuries. Oh, I have to take care of Todd Gill before I forget. All right, and I'm going to. Oh, we're recalling Adam Burt. There you go. So it's not like we're getting like a half-star defenseman up. We get somebody that actually can play. So that's cool. All right, so yeah, we have 2 injuries. Todd Gill, Gary Galley. They should be coming back at around the same time. So yeah, let's take a look at the standings. So Buffalo is really good this season. The Pittsburgh Penguins are really good. The Nordiques are pretty good. The Sens, not so much. Yeah, worst team in the league is so the Sens. They are 5 points back on the Sharks. It's pretty sad for the Sharks. The Lightning is doing a lot better than them, and they've been in the league for, less time than the Sharks have. They have some goaltending, but the talent is not all that great on the team. A lot of half-star players over there. All right, let's take a look at our team. Let's take a look at our stats. So our best player is Alexander McGill. He has 95 points in 77 games. That's not too shabby. He has 7 games to get to 100. That would be pretty good. Andrew Castles, 87 and 69. That's also really good. 86 and 63 for Robitaille. 84 and 67 for Shepard. 79 and 77 for Reichel. So we have 5 players that are at least a point per game. And then our best defenseman is Rob Blake, 64 points in 77 games. Of course, a lot of those points were obtained with Toronto. But hey. So we're not doing too bad, except for Rob Brown. He's a minus 26, but a lot of that was, with Ottawa. All right, and in the entire league, there's about 7 games left for teams to play, so those might be pretty close to how it's gonna end. Mario Lemieux, 69 goals, leads the entire league. Yzerman, 97 assists, leads the entire league. Mario Lemieux, 153 points, leads the league by 15 points. Yeah, we don't have anybody. McGillney is our best, and he has 95. So he's not shown here. Wow. Kirk Muller, 112 points. I don't think he came. Did he score 100 points in his career? Yeah, I didn't think so. He came close a couple times, but he never got 100 points in his career. Let's take a look at the goalies. Maybe we can see Arthur Serbe now that he's been, stopping pucks a little, but no. Irbe is nowhere to be found except for shutouts. He has 3. Andy Moog has the most at 6. I put a claim on him, I just didn't get him. I tried. Alright, folks, we're gonna go ahead and save the game. I know I streamed at a strange hour for me, but my girlfriend is out with friends, so that gave me a little bit of time to do this. Especially since I didn't stream earlier because, yes, you know me, I took a nap. All right, so as usual, I want to thank you for tuning in, and if you're catching this on YouTube and you like the video, please feel free to like, subscribe, share, comment, all of that good stuff. And until I roll this game again, I'll see you folks next time. Thank you.